Harris was asked in an MSNBC interview tonight about New York Democratic mayoral nominee Zohran Mamdani. "Look, as far as I am concerned, he's the Democratic nominee, and he should be supported," Harris told host Rachel Maddow. Asked whether she endorsed Mamdani's candidacy, Harris said, "I support the Democrat in the race, sure." Harris also said she did not believe Mamdani was the party's only rising star, cautioning against losing sight of the stars throughout our country who are right now running for mayor and many other offices. Former Vice President Kamala Harris was asked in an MSNBC interview tonight about an admission in her forthcoming book, 107 Days, that she had not predicted what she describes as the capitulation of industries that she says have traditionally served as the guardrails of democracy to Trump. Harris told host Rachel Maddow that media organizations and big law firms had perhaps caved because they want a merger approved or they want to avoid an investigation. But at some point they've got to stand up for the sake of the people who rely on all of these institutions to have integrity and to, at some point, be the guardrails against a tyrant who is using the federal government to execute his whim and fancy because of a fragile ego, Harris said. Harris praised the reinstatement of Jimmy Kimmel Live after Disney announced the show's suspension last week over comments Kimmel made about Charlie Kirk's assassination, saying it spoke volumes, and it moved a decision in the right direction. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, DNY, said today that Jimmy Kimmel's suspension should never have happened after Disney announced that his show would be reinstated. Freedom of speech is under attack in the United States of America. Donald Trump is weaponizing the federal government to come after Americans who disagree with him, claiming that negative coverage of him is illegal. "That's unconscionable, unacceptable and un-American," Jeffries said in a statement. "The suspension of Jimmy Kimmel should never have happened and that's why House Democrats strongly denounced it," he added. Jeffries also urged media companies to hold the line against the Trump administration's unconstitutional attacks on the First Amendment and blasted Federal Communications Commission Chair Brendan Carr, who had floated the idea of Kimmel's suspension during an appearance on a podcast last week shortly before Kimmel's removal. Jeffries said Carr should be fired immediately. Sen. Bill Cassidy, a physician who is the chairman of the Health Committee, appeared to dispute Trump's claim that acetaminophen used during pregnancy may cause autism, saying that the preponderance of evidence shows that this is not the case. "I understand and applaud President Trump's desire to address this issue and to support HHS. HHS should release the new data that it has to support this claim. The preponderance of evidence shows that this is not the case. The concern is that women will be left with no options to manage pain in pregnancy. We must be compassionate to this problem," Cassidy, Arla, said on X. Trump said today that the administration is issuing a warning to doctors not to recommend acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol and other widely used medications, for pregnant women, claiming it may be linked to autism in children. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, along with other major medical groups, say acetaminophen is among the few pain relievers considered safe for use during pregnancy, and studies have found no clear evidence linking it to developmental problems in children.